Friends of the world, Paul the Trombonist here. I wanted to share with you a technique that helped develop my ear more than anything else. So you're not going to want to miss this. Alright, so this is a technique I like to call selective listening. Now, the way this works is you have to have intense focus. You want to focus your brain so intensely. For example, let's say you're listening to a record and the record is a rhythm section with a horn player. Okay, so it's like a jazz combo. Now, what you can do, and this is what I did that completely changed my ears, is you want to just zone into one element of the ensemble. For example, I will just zone into what the bass player is doing. And for about a week straight, all I listen to is what the bass player is doing. I don't listen to anyone else. I just listen to the bass player. That's all you do. Listen to the bass player. And the more you just concentrate on the bass player, you're going to start to only hear the bass player. And it's going to sound like a solo recording where just the bass player is playing. And everything else, your mind will start to not even notice it's there. It's called selective listening. And once that's cool, then just focus in on the hi-hat. Focus in on the hi-hat. Focus, do that for about a week, and then you're only listening to the hi-hat and you just hear the hi-hat. And you can do that for every single element in the music. And what ends up happening, it's pretty amazing actually, what ends up happening is that you're able to isolate all the different elements of music, and your ear is going to be able to zone in like superhero ability, zone in on one thing, and you're going to be able to pick apart and just selectively listen in a way that you never did before. So a practice schedule for this that I would do is I would maybe just, if you want to, it depends on how intensely you want to get involved in this stuff, but I would say a good start for you would probably be like, this week I'm just going to listen to the bass player. Next week I'm going to listen to the hi-hat. The next week after that I'm going to listen to the left hand of the piano. The next week after that I'm only going to listen to the solo voice if it's an instrument or a vocalist. And it almost sounds like the stems have been exported once you get good at this, and you can really start to shut off the rest of the recording and just listen to the specific elements. And it just sounds like the stems have been exported where, you know, where on a recording session you just have that track you're listening to. Called selective listening. Now what else it does is, once you get really good at this, you're going to be able to hear individual pitches and voicings in the harmony. Okay, so you could take it a step farther. Once you get real good at just the configuration of the ensemble, you can get real in depth with the harmony of each ensemble member. So let's say the guitar player, you're going to be able to start to isolate the different pitches that the guitar player is playing on the instrument, and then you can zone in on just those and even do the exercise with just that pitch. It can get as in depth as you want it to go. You can take it as far as you want to go. This was probably the greatest ear training tool that I came across, because the mind is a powerful thing. And if you can just switch the way that you are thinking about things, you can expand the mind in ways that you've never ever experienced before. And that's what this selective listening exercise really does, is it expands your perception of sound in a way that you've never done before. And you'll be amazed. I'm telling you. You'll be amazed. So I recommend to put this into your practice routine, the selective listening exercise. And you're just going to find that your ears are going to be so in sync in a way never before. And then it's going to come across on your instrument, and it's going to come across when you start transcribing, and it's going to come across when you start to be in a rehearsal setting and you're working with other musicians, and you're going to start hearing things that you've never heard ever before. You're going to be like, I didn't know that those overtones existed. You're going to be like, I didn't know that that sounded off before, but now I can hear that. I didn't know it sounded off. So you're gonna just do amazing things for yourself with this exercise. It's called selective listening is what I like to call it. So you can start right away. It can be on any genre of music that you so desire. You can listen to pop music, you can listen to any style of music. You can do full symphony orchestras. Listen to what the trombone section's doing. Then see if you can listen to what the third trombone player's doing. Listen to see if you can hear what the violins are doing and the timpani, just the timpani. You're listening to just the timpani and you're constantly listening to it and only listening to what the timpani does. You'll be amazed. I'm telling you, folks. Selective listening, folks. This is crazy stuff. This really helps.